tour of Stonington Middle School if you've never been here before, and a refresher for those of you who have been 7th graders and 8th graders here before. So first of all, these bookshelves here and here are where I keep new books. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to check in and out books with coronavirus this year. It might look a little different. You might have to have 24 hours. I might have to bring you carts in your classrooms of books to choose from. But in case we can have a normal library, I wanted to give you a tour and show you where everything is. But anyways, these are where I keep new books as I order new books throughout the year. This is where I keep them in our read box instead of red box, you get it. This computer is not turned on right now, but this computer is where you can look up books that we have in our library. Let me give you another tour. Back there you can see my office. I don't spend a whole lot of time there. Most of the time I'm out here either teaching or doing library stuff, but that's where typically my office is, that I prepare books, or sometimes I just eat lunch there. That's really the only time I spend in there. Here is the circulation desk. Right there is where we return books, and there's the scanner, and that's pretty much where you will see me in my role as a librarian, checking in and out books. My main teaching station sometimes is there. I have 2 extra chairs there for student aides who help me check in and out books. I will be hopefully allowing student aides back in their roles this year. It might look a little different, and I hopefully will have 2 openings for 6th grade aides. The only thing is you cannot be in band, but that would be your unified arts for the whole year. So if you are interested, I will be posting more information about that later. To continue on with our tour, this is the rest of the room. Let me adjust my selfie stick here. All right, here's the rest of the room. You can see that there are computers on one side. I have tables, and I have couches back there. That hallway there of windows is the main hallway and into the cafeteria over there. But let me give you another tour of where some other books are. You can see this is the main computers where I have for extra people who don't have Chromebooks, or they need to print projects, or whatever the case may be that they need desktops instead of their Chromebooks. I organized my books in fiction genres. If you've ever been to Barnes & Noble or Books A Million, they often have their books separated by genre. I did this big project about 5 years ago where I labeled every single book in this library, and I gave it a genre, and it has by far helped kids in my library find books that they like. So if you don't know what a genre is, think about like a type of movie. You like scary movies, you like adventure movies, you like superhero movies. I kind of did the same thing with my fiction books. So our first section here is the adventure section. That's where I keep things like Percy Jackson or Hatchet, kids who go on adventures and survival, and it's really a good section. I have classic books, some oldies but goodies, things like A Wrinkle in Time, Narnia, Lord of the Rings, things of that nature there. And fantasy is my biggest section. It has 4 or 5 shelves. Fantasy is anything magical, any fantasy world where there are dragons and magic, and the Warrior Cat series, or anything fantasy, that's where you will find it. Some of my favorite books are fantasy books, and Harry Potter is in fantasy. It's a very big section. Twilight, apparently Twilight's coming back with a new book this year. I have historical fiction, any book set back in the time, and such as Dear America Diaries. Let's see what else is some good ones. The I Survived series is here for those of you who like the I Survived series. And then humor starts, well actually humor starts on the other side. I need to move that poster because I just redid some things. Humor, for those of you who love Diary of a Wimpy Kid or iFunny or anything like that, that is right here. There's a short shelf section back here by some benches and some couches where you can sit and read. That's Diary of a Wimpy Kid kind of stuff. Back over here to some more short shelves. I have my mystery section for those of you who like solving crimes and mysteries and following clues. That is a good section. Then on the other side starts this whole area right here. On the inside is my realistic fiction section. This is for any kid who is like you, that lives in modern times, going through situations such as, you know, dealing, oh, it's a little loud, hold on one second.
Benny, come to the front office, please.
Anyways, so any book that is are modern day kids going through things such as Wonder. It's a very popular book in this section. Dork Diary books are in this section. A lot of good books that are sad. I get a lot of requests for sad books. I have some emotional books are all in realistic fiction section. There's a few love stories in there too, but most of those are in young adult, which I'll talk about in a second. Come over here with me. These short shelves right here, it starts off in my scary section. Those of you who like, I know it's a little backwards, but that's my scary section. For those of you who like goosebump books, I have a ton of them here. Anything vampires or ghosts or anything like that, I have in this short scary section. Then I have science fiction. Science fiction is my other personal favorite kind of book. Here we have science fiction, anything that has something to do with time travel or anything science related. It's rockets, go into other worlds, anything like that, a science section. Then for my sports people, I have sports fiction here. So if you like anything by anything by John Green, by Kwame Alexander, who writes a lot of good ones, such as the crossover, things like that. So there's my sports section. Come over here. This is my survival section with the yellow S. That's my dystopian section, so anything that's set in like a crazy future time, such as the Hunger Games, where kids have to try to survive a crazy time and things that go on. And then the rest of these short shelves behind me are nonfiction. So the Dewey Decimal System, which I'm sure you heard about in elementary school or before, separated by different topics. Those are all books that have facts in them. There are some fiction books like myths, but they're like true myths, like mythology. There's some in there. Anything about the military is in nonfiction, animals, science, math, all of the nonfiction section stuff. That is where you would find it. And last but not least, one of my other very personal favorite sections is back here in this back corner, and that is my young adult section. Young adult books are a little bit more mature content. They're written for high school students, but a lot of kids, especially in 7th grade and 8th grade, they enjoy a little bit higher level books. Things like The Fault in Our Stars would be good here, or anything by John Green would be in this section. There's a lot of really good books here. I don't require a permission slip you just have to know what your parents would allow you to watch. Same thing, whatever your parents would allow you to read is what you can have there, but it is open to anybody, including 6th grade. So that is a very quick tour of the Zonton Middle School Library. Again, my name is Ms. Voigt, and I am so excited to meet you soon. Have a good day.